Good afternoon, everybody. We're back for our final live coloring video of the January release. It's the Winter Fairy Tale release for Sweet November at 7 Kids. And we are going to finish up coloring Emma Everfrost and give her and little Peppy Penguin down there a fun background to live in. So I'm going to give you guys some time to find the video. Hey, Momo. Oh, no, kitty. You go lay down. Sorry about that. Julie's back on. Hello, Julie. Let me just make sure this is going good on our Facebook page. There we are. Good on our face. Okay. That looks good. So we'll give everybody some time to find us. The bundle deal is still going strong in the store. That's the buy all 3 of the Frost Fairies and you'll get the 3 little woodland critters for free. So you've got today to take advantage of that. Dana is back. Hello, Dana. Good to see you again. And I've got my kitty in my room and I might need to let him out real quick because I don't think he's going to leave me alone. Just a second. Come here, Mom. Come on, Mom. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good boy. All right. Sorry about that. I thought he was going to be good, but he wasn't. Okay. So, I've got a bit of a plan. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for this gal. But first, we have the little baby penguins to take care of. So we're going to do them. And I think we'll just dive right in. And people can catch it on the replay because we got things to do and penguins to color. And we got Carrie Ann. Beautiful. You know all about a cat that won't let you work. Ah, yes. It would not be, you'd be a naughty student to be putting coloring before the continuing education class. So definitely catch us on the replay. I think it'll be worth the rewatch. And Mel made it back. All right, Mel. Happy to have you here. All right, I'm going to grab some teas for our little baby penguins. And I'm going to start with like a T3. Right down here. And I'm going to start with his little body. And on the little baby penguins, if you look at them, they have their little downy feathers. Their baby feathers are all gray on their body. They don't have the real striking black and white markings quite yet. They do up on their head, but their body is quite gray. So that was the T3, and I'm going to go lighter down to a T1. I'm going to blend that out. And I'm kind of working like I did on the furry ruff that we did yesterday, where it's kind of that stippled dotting on the ink technique, and that's going to help give him some kind of soft fuzzy texture. Dana didn't know that about the penguins. I don't know if it's all penguins. But I know when I was Google searching penguin chicks, for my first card, all the ones that were coming up for me, yeah, they all have this really soft little gray, fuzzy looking little body with the black and white face and little black feet. And it was really cute. So I wanted to recreate that on my cards. So now I'm looking for, I want to go even lighter with my T0. Well, Dana, we just learn something new every day, don't we? And I'm going to fill in the rest of the white down here. And I'm also going to use this T0 to be the shading and shadow on the white part of his face, because we want a little bit of contrast there. Even though we want it to read as white, if you just leave it flat white, it will look odd in comparison to everything else that you've colored, because everything else has some shading and dimension to it, and the flat white little face would just stand out. Okay, so now we're going to transform this baby owl into a baby penguin. So I'm just going to treat his face for now, exactly like I am doing to this guy down here, and just adding a little bit of gray around the eyes there. Okay, now I'm going to jump up to my darker T's. I'll do like T7. And I'm just going to start coloring in that cap. And the beak is all black as well. And his little feet down here are black. And then we're going to treat this guy the exact same way. We're going to have to kind of figure out our own bit of mask, but I'm going to follow the little feather lines. Will help me create that mask on this one. And this is just a fun way to change the story a little bit, to transform that little owl into a little penguin. And I'm going to give him a little black beak right there. And all of a sudden it looks like we've got two penguins. What altering into a baby penguin? You took me by surprise with that one. Indeed I did. Indeed I did. But isn't it a fun surprise? Isn't it? It's the versatility. It's, you get a little extra mileage out of the image that way. I'm going to jump to the T10. It's a magic show. Ooh, don't look up my sleeve. I'm just going to go on the side that's kind of away from the light and give it a little bit darker black with that 10, and just hit the beak on one side too. It's going to be really subtle, but I'm not going to worry about blending these out. I'm just using this T10 to kind of help give a little bit of dimension to these round little heads. And we'll hit the beak over here too. Okay. I kind of want to use my black, give him a little bit rounder head. So that means I'm going to go up into her face just a bit. But don't be scared. I think by rounding the top, though, he'll look a little bit more penguinish. There we go. There we go. There we go. This is just the T7 again to kind of... There we go. I keep adding more black. I need to just stop but I want it to be even. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take my T1 and I'm just going to hit his little eyes up here a little bit. I want to give it a little bit of shadow there around the eyes and under his chin. Okay. I'm going to reinforce the eyes down here. Oh, and then I also, when I did it the first time, let's see. I'll be scared for you. Took my 0 and I wet down the cheeks. And this is not realistic. This is not in the Google pictures if you search it. But I wanted to give them some rosy little cheeks. So I grabbed the R30. And it just was cute. And that's why we have, you know, definitely feel free. Take the artistic license and add whatever colors you want. There we go. Little pink baby cheeks on my baby penguins. Okay. So now we can start tackling that background. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use a C. Oh, I'll go C1 so that we can see it. And this is what I'm going to use to just kind of map out my plan. And my plan is to kind of have them floating on icebergs a bit. So we'll have some ice and we'll have some water. I thought that would be fun since we've got penguins in there. So I've got my C1 and of course, we need to create the ice flow that they are standing on. So I'm just going to kind of sketch in the top where that's gonna be back here. Okay, now I'm gonna skip because I know I'm gonna fill some of that space with water, and then I'm going to just kind of imagine where the bottom of my next ice flow is, and I'm gonna give it kind of, I'm imagining blue. It's gonna fill this in, so I want kind of wave tops along the bottom of that ice flow, and I'll go right through that wing there. Okay, now I'm going to kind of sketch in the top of this ice flow, and I'm going to just kind of make it kind of craggy and lumpy bumpy, and it's going to come down maybe here, and it'll narrow out as it comes down to the edge there. And we're going to create even further back in the distance one last, maybe it's the shoreline, and it's going to come right back here. And I'm not going to make the waves as distinct, but I am going to make sure I don't have a super straight line because it's still going to have water coming up to it there. And then I got to imagine the tops of the ice. And we'll have more hills of ice. You know, just kind of coming down, and they'll swoop way down. Get really narrow. And then maybe start creeping up again, just like that. Okay. So you can see I've kind of, it looks like just a bunch of lines. But when we get it all filled in, I think it's going to be a really cool kind of Antarctic icy water scene, which is something we haven't done before. It's something I haven't really done before, but we're going to do it today, and then we'll have that under our belt. Okay, so I'm thinking day scene, so I'm going to go with a lighter blue in the sky. And I actually think, now that I'm thinking on it, I really liked the kind of morning sunrise sky that Tracy Newman had on her card with Willa this morning. So we're going to kind of be inspired by that, I think. So, and it'll give us a little bit more color besides just all the blues and grays that are going to be going on. So I've got my Y00, and I'm going to spin the card this way. And I'm going to start putting in some sunshine back here. And I'm going right through those wings again because I want them to look transparent. So this is a very light color, and I can do that. All right, I'm not taking the yellow all the way up, just about to there, but I do like to kind of do some sketchy lines here and there to help it blend out. Okay, so we've got some yellow going on. Now I want to get a good blue, and we'll start nice and light. We can always build up, but let's start with like a B00. B00. And I'm going to start at the top and work down towards the yellow. And again, right through those wings. Long brush strokes. And this is where, I mean, because it's easy, just if you purposefully kind of lift your pen, and you can do really pretty kind of striated clouds with the same technique. Not the really defined fluffy ones, but the kind of long streaky ones. So you take advantage of your brush stroke and not worry about perfect blends, and you just get this kind of natural light cloudy sky look. We're kind of using the same technique to blend in the light from our sunrise. Okay. I am going to go higher. Your desk gets more and more colorful with each live. Yes, it does. Luckily, I'm not very vain about the appearance of my desk. When I'm coloring without the camera rolling, I have a Tim Holtz little mat that I work on that's easy cleanup, but it reflects weird in the camera. So for these, it's just straight wood desk, and it's just a cheap IKEA thing, so who cares? It's just proof that I get crafty on it, so it's not a bad thing. All right, so we had B00, and we'll jump up. Let's go BG02. A little bit darker and a little bit more blue-green. Pam is back. Hello, hello. There we go. And I'm just going to use those long brush strokes again from both sides. And just kind of pull the marker across like so. Okay. Now back to my B00. There we go. And start blending that out a little bit. Working those colors together. You think my 00 is asking for some ink soon? I kind of do. But for now, it's doing okay. I'm even going to creep down into our yellow sunrise just a bit. Okay. Pretty color. I think, yeah, we're looking pretty good for our little sunrise sky. So I'm back to my Y00. And I'm going to creep up into the blue a little bit. It's kind of about not being afraid to blend in both up and down where these two colors kind of meet. So, you know, take the yellow a little bit into the blue and take the blue a little bit into the yellow. And I'm actually going to go down a smidge to a B triple. So it's lighter than the B double that we've been using. I'm going to use it to creep down into that yellow a bit more. And this will just help you get a smoother transition from one color or the other. Then it's not going to look like yellow, stop, blue. It's going to kind of create that gradation. Okay, how are we looking when we go this way? Ah, very nice, very nice. Okay, I think we nailed our sky. Now let's start tackling our water. And let's see, I think we don't want to go too dark with our water because she's got a lot of dark blues and purples going on. So to help her stand out against that, I think we'll go with kind of the icier blues in our water as well. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to go blue greens. I don't know, for some reason the blue greens seem more like tropical waters to me, but I could be wrong. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with the blues. And we'll start off with that BO2. So I got BO2 out. And I'm just going to fill in all my water. Icy blue would be cool. We're going to keep it kind of on the icy side, I think. Yeah, for sure. And again, you can see I'm going right through that wing, at least with this very lightest in our combination. Going right up to that edge of that ice flow. And then it's continuing back here. So this is just telling me where all my water is going to be. I'm going to do the same down here. Don't worry about smooth blends at this point or being pretty. We're just getting that color on. It's These are kind of my wave tops along the base of that ice floe. Okay. So now we're starting to get a sense of how this landscape is going to play out. Now we just got to continue adding dimension into our water. And we're going to get some dark parts going on. So that was my BO2. Next, I think we'll use... use that in her thing, in her dress. Do I want to go there? Or I'm going to add, here I go again. I cannot stay away from this marker, apparently. But I want to use that BG53 again, like I did yesterday. If I can find it. There it is. So my Ice Mint BG53 that I love. I'm just gonna start putting this in here. Oops, I should have been avoiding her wings a bit with this. So I'll be more mindful of that down here. But it's not a big problem. I can play with that for sure. So I'm just kind of going in the center. I am going to come all the way up, I think, to this, since that's going to be covering where that meets. I'm going to leave it lighter as it gets closer to shore, back there. I knew you wanted that one. I like it too. You guys are getting to know me too well. Before I know it, you'll be predicting every single marker that I go for before I do. And I'm going to do the same down here. You can tell I use it a lot because it's wanting ink too. After doing all these kind of wintry landscapes, it's gotten quite the workout here in this last week or so. Luckily for me, I had a very good Christmas, and I got a lot of refills in my stocking. Yay! So that was fun. That was a good Christmas for me. All right. Oh, there's a little bit here. There we go. So we've done the 53. We want a little bit darker. So we'll go up to BG07. We'll try that. There we go. So I've got BG07. This I really want to be mindful of not going into that wing. I have a very wonderful family, yes. And they know me very well. And when I'm telling them, but Copic prices are going up at the new year. So they knew. They listened. They made me a very happy girl. Okay, and I'm going to start kind of like we did in the sky. I'm going to kind of sketch in. I'm going to start sketching in some little kind of wave lines, basically, I guess, for lack of a better term. That they're not necessarily connected to this kind of body of deeper water there, but I want to get some of that color out and beyond. So I'm going to do the similar down here. Going to be dark all the way up to the edge of this ice pack. But I'm also going to do some sketchy waves. And back here too. Okay. Back to my BG53. To kind of blend those together. And I can continue my waves in the wings with this 53 so they don't just stop and start. And I'll also throw in even some more kind of wave lines with the 53 as I go back. And I'm going to blend this out here. We're just creating a nice little wave pattern as we go back. And we'll do the same here. And let's not forget our little wave marks. And I'm just kind of flicking in here and there. And then we'll take care of this and make it nice and smooth. Oops. Guess we'll have a little dip in our ice there. That's the nice thing about working against the white. I'll just take a chunk out with my blue and that's all right. It's ice. It's going to be broken and craggy. We're just having a good time. Enjoying creating our own little Antarctic ice pack. Who says there's right or wrong? Okay, so we've got a pretty good looking little water going on back there. Now to start, so this is, as I was saying with the penguins, look how odd it looks if I were to just leave that as is and say, there's my snow. Snow is white. Yes, technically it is. But it does catch light and have shadows and everything like that. And we want it to have just as much dimension as we have taken the time to put into our fairy and our penguins and our water and our sky. So to do that, we are going to go to our, I think we'll go grays on this one. You could certainly do, we probably do some blues as well. Some purples in different circumstances would work as well. You've got a lot of options. Mel is loving the scene. And it's relatively easy too, isn't it, Mel? Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, Dana. Sometimes the snow is yellow. Oh, you're killing me. Oh, you girls. Ah, yes. Don't eat the yellow snow. Ah, you guys are too funny. All right. So I'm going to grab C. I have my C1 out, and maybe I'll use that to start. So this is that same C1 that I used to sketch them in the first place. And now I'm going to create kind of the shelf, or so I'm giving it a little bit of a lip, basically. And it'll be very narrow on this one back here in the distance. Yes, where's the dog? We need to get Fergus the fox. Oh, that naughty Fergus. Okay, and then on this one, because it's closer to us, the shelf will be high, a bit wider. And I'm just going to kind of play with it and the line of it, and it can come forward and back. And then here, and we'll get it going narrow as it comes down there. And we're not going to see any of the shelf on this one because it's off screen, basically. It would be down here where we're cut off. So we just have those two kind of shelves. Now I'm also going to use that C1 to start kind of laying in where my kind of lumps and bumps and shadows are on the snow. So I know I have kind of a little dip in our snowpack here. I'm just going to bring it down to that edge, and it's going to kind of creep this way, like so. And then we'll have it kind of come up the hill on this side. And then we'll do the same. We'll do a little guy here. And this is just all in your imagination. Wherever you want to put these little dips and bumps in, it's totally up to you. No right or wrong about it. Nothing to stress over. This is your world you're creating. And then we're also going to kind of pull down on our little lip or edge of that ice pack and create, as it kind of bends and turns as well. So now like this side is getting more light, so I'm going to leave it white right there, and then kind of start hitting again with the gray there. Like so. And then I'm going to add some gray in back here on this distant ice up on the top of that. We'll kind of go a little flat second hill kind of back there. It's kind of like doing mountains, basically. And then we'll just have it come swooshing right down to that edge. Like so. And then this side's definitely gonna get some more. Okay. And then there's the shadows that they're going to be casting down here. Because we always, I mean, this is, if you don't do anything else, even if you're leaving a character on a stark white background, which can be very cool and very effective as well sometimes, give them a little bit of grounding, give them a little bit of a shadow, and really let them, take up space in that, even if it's all white space. By doing this little bit of shadow at their feet, it's going to be an easy and effective way to just really put them in place and make them feel like they're not just floating in space, that they have kind of solidity to them. And then I'm just going to create some lumps and bumps on this as well. Kind of back here. Because I don't want it to be too stark white. Okay. So that's a good start. I'm starting to get a feel for how the landscape is going. But I am going to throw in some blue now. And I think I'm going to grab... I might do the BG10. It's kind of an icy, cool... Well, there we go. Cool shadow, BG10. And I'm just going to use it right over that gray. I'm going to pull it past the gray. Just a smidge. Just kind of making it nice and icy looking. And of course, under their feet again. We're really going to eventually get pretty heavy-handed. We're going to go with a darker gray down here. Gray or blue? We'll see. We'll see. But not yellow. No yellow snow. But actually, you know what? We probably are going to have just a little bit now that I say that. Because we'll probably add a tiny bit of yellow to our snow back there where it's kind of reflecting that sunrise. But it's not that kind of yellow snow, I promise. All right. But for now, let's really ground this gal in place. I'm going to do a jump up to C4. I'm going to go right under those feet. I'm not going to pull too far with this dark one. We want it to blend out in a way. Okay. Now I'm going to grab like a C2. And I'll start pulling that out further. I have all sorts of re-inking to do, don't I? This C2 is about as dry as my BG53. Okay. Now I want C0. Okay. And I'm just going to reinforce some of my little dips over here. Okay, I like that. I like that. I don't think I want to go as dark as the C4 back there, but I am going to take that C2. Just anywhere where I want it to be a bit darker, have a little bit more contrast. I think that's going to be in these. Yeah, there we go. So this is helping it make it look like kind of that broken off edge that we're going for. I'm going to continue back here. Okay. Now blend that out with my C1. Okay. Another pass of that C0, this time back here on this ice flow. And use it on this. Okay. And now in the back, I'm going to take that C1 and just reinforce again. But I'm not taking the 2 or the 4 because as we go back into the distance, things are going to get lighter and less distinct. So even its contrast isn't, it doesn't have as heavy contrast the further back as we get forward and closer to the objects that are nearest us. But I am going to reinforce that little shelf of ice. Back there. Okay, and I want, what size is your whole piece? Always, I work, 99.9% of the time, it is a standard A2 size, so the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is what I'm working on, and almost all of my cards that I make are in that size. Either sometimes they're vertical, sometimes they're horizontal, but they're always that A2 size card. Like I said, 99.9% of the time. Every once in a while, I might make a 5 by 7, but it's very rare these days. Back to my BG10. Yes, I'm going to grab the yellow. I won't disappoint you. We have to do some yellow. We just cannot not do some yellow. But it's not going to be for what everybody thinks. I just wanted to get a little bit more blue up front there under them. Okay. All right, and now I'm grabbing a very light, heck, I'll just do, I'm gonna start, see if it's dark enough, but the Y quad. Yes, I love that size too. I mean, I don't find that it hinders me too often in, what I want to produce, what kind of scene I want to create. I can most of the time make it work. Yeah, I think this will be nice. So I'm just throwing a little bit of Y quadruple 0 onto that back ice pack so that it's picking up some of that sunshine. And I guess we could even do a tad on our brighter bits down here, because why not? We want a little bit of yellow, we'll put in a little bit of yellow. But it's not because Fergus was going around marking everything. Okay, so, gosh. Oh, we got her wings. We got her wings. So let's do that. And I'm kind of leaning towards a purpley color for her wings. And I will grab out, I think V triple 0. So it's a very pale purple. And I'm just going to take it right over everything. Can't forget this wing back here. And then down here. then I'm going to grab a little bit darker, maybe like a V01. If it makes itself handy to me. There it is. So there's the V01. And I'm just going to start sketching in a little pattern. On her wings back here. You can do whatever you like. Just there, and then yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use the V01 if I want a hint. Well, maybe V00. Is there a V00? I don't know that there is. Well, I'm going to go back to my V triple. I'm just going to hint at some of those dots on that far wing back there. Okay. So she's got a fun pattern going on. We've got our little peppy penguins, and we've got our water and our ice flow. Now, I'm just going to grab my handy dandy little Sharpie. That's the extra fine point that I love. And I'm going to put the catch lights let me get it on the scratch piece paper. There, we got it going. There we go. And I'm also going to take it and I'm going to add just a little hit here and there. On the water. That's going to help, you know, those little waves as they're kind of cresting here and there. And we'll do some back here. I'm even going to take it on those. There we go. And I think, do I like that? Let's try, now that I've got that on there. I want it to be a little bit wider. So I'm going to take my pencil right over top and just fuzz it out a bit. totally experimenting here. What's it gonna hurt? You just got to be willing to play. Play and have fun. That's what we're all about, isn't it? Enjoying this hobby. There we go. Much happier with that. All right, so, I mean, I told you I thought the background would be pretty quick, and it certainly was. We are just, sheesh, an hour is all it took. So, this is a background anybody can do. If you want a beginner's guide to background, start with one like this, because there really is not a whole lot to it, and it looks really cool at the end, I gotta say. So, give it a shot. Get those winter fairies out and put them on an ice pack. Send them on their way like Buddy the Elf, going down to New York. But yeah, so thank you. Thank you for being here for this final video for this release. I had a lot of fun as usual with all of you. You're so great. And I'm going to put up the album tonight for the new January challenge, and because I want to see what you guys do. I want to see what you do with these, and I want to give as many people a February fairy tot as I can. So let's get those numbers up. Let's share our projects with everybody. I know everyone would love to see them. See what you're making with your new January digi stamps. And I had an amazing time with you guys today. I will be back for the vault, the Sweet November Vault. That's kind of a one-day event that we do in the middle of the month. And I will have videos on that day as well. I think it's like 2 Saturdays from now, I believe. But yeah, so until then, have fun coloring, have fun being creative, and share your stuff with us at 7 Kids Customers Create page, because it's a great group of ladies. You guys you make it a great group of ladies. And so we want to see what you're making with all this fun stuff. So thank you for making this a wonderful release again, and I will see you all later. Bye.